And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome to our coverage of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. It's Group 2 and it's the final round of games, and there's still something, of course, to play out for. We know already Kilkenny are in the quarterfinals and the draw on Monday, and of course next week in Croke Park. But who will be joining them? That place is still up for decision. However, Clare, the travellers here to Grant Heating St Brendan's Park and Board today, are the ones in prime position, and with scoring difference counting firstly, they have charge of that as well. Offaly know they have to win by 6 points here to hope that they can usurp Clare out of that position in second place. Limerick not out of the hunt either. If everything was to go their way ultimately, if they were to outscore Dublin and score more than Offaly were to defeat Clare here, well, they could be into a second place. All those permutations only work if obviously Clare lose the game, and as we said already, they are the favourites for this encounter. Hopefully you can enjoy the action. I'm going to be joined today by Anne-Marie McGann and of course Elaine Dermody. Looking forward to that, and hopefully we have a good encounter here. We should, because Offaly are going to throw the kitchen sink at it, as you're going to hear from their manager shortly. So I hope you're duly looking forward to this encounter as much as we are. Thanks to David and Gerard and Entray, we'll be bringing you the best of the action here for the next hour and a half. Do stick with us. Now we're going to hear from both camps. Man you see on camera is Offaly manager Jack Maher. Jack, you're here on home turf. Home turf has been good to you in recent weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, Killian, look, it's always good to play at home. I think the crowd really gets behind the team, and the team feed off the crowd, so we're hoping for a big crowd here again today, and we know there's a big battle coming with Clare.
And you know what you ultimately have to do. It is a bit of an ask, but I'm sure the girls are going to give it a right crack.
Yeah, look, it's a massive ask. Ultimately all we're looking for is performance. Firstly, from the girls, we're going to go after that, and we're going to go after it hard, as I'm sure Clare and Eugene and the rest of the girls are going to go after as well. But we're looking at the performance. We're not looking past that. We'll concentrate on our tackle count, and we'll take it from there. And
no matter what, I suppose it has been a good response, building on what you achieved obviously last year. So there's going to be no negative talk around today, I would imagine.
No, there's no negative. Look, once, as I said, both teams are still in with a shout. Clare have a slight advantage, but look, we're coming here knowing exactly what we need to do. Girls are in a good place. Offaly Camogie is in a good place. Offaly in general is in a good place with the year they've had so far. So it's all really positive, and it's building. We've had a massive turnover. I think we've 14 girls gone from the All-Ireland winning team, our panel last year. So it's a massive change, and the girls, it took them time to come to terms with the speed of the likes of Clare and your Dublins and and Kilkenny. But no, it's very good. It's very good. Yeah.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much, Killian.
Thank you. Face on camera is Eugene Foodie. Eugene, we've talked so much over recent weeks. It's really becoming such a regular thing, but Clare are in a healthy spot in that the fact you're coming into this game in control of your own destiny as such.
Yeah, I said this to you last week. Okay, we did a blip last week, but the girls knew themselves they didn't perform, and we trained during the week. I know it was probably the hottest week we got, but the girls are eager to put it right. It was our first defeat of the year, and looking forward to good game today. The weather conditions, pitches, everything's excellent, so it should be a great game.
But again, it's important that obviously, I'm sure the message in the dressing room from you will be, you are in control of this. Let's not have any kind of silly occasions out here, and just maintain our composure or whatever. Exactly.
I mean, the destiny's in our own hands, as the way the table goes, and its score difference is the first thing. But the simple thing is, we need to go out and win the game. Right? That's our goal. If we do that, we're not looking over our shoulder at any other results. We need to attack the game, play our normal style, run at them, take the advantage when we get it, and put the scores on the board.
Because I'm sure you know that Offaly are going to just throw the kitchen sink at you because they've nothing to lose ultimately.
Yeah, no, they're in the same position. If they come along and beat us by 5 or 6 points, they're on the road to Dublin next weekend, and I'm well aware of that. The girls are well aware of that. But we just have to back ourselves and trust ourselves, go back to basics, do what we're good at, and that's the message it has been all week. And the season doesn't fall asunder because of one result. We have loads of experience and loads of kind of kudos in the bank throughout this year, and sure, we're going to use that today, and we're going to come into the game, sure, raring to go.
We wish you the best of luck, Eugene.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're welcome back here to our commentary position. Then you can see our match officials out in the middle. Liz Dempsey will lead things off in a moment. The Offaly team sees one change. Ali Butler, St. Ryan, is coming in for a clubmate Katie O'Connell, but it as selected then everywhere else. Offaly will start with Emer Reynolds of Shinrone in goal, Anya O'Connor of Nave Breed, Amy Byrne, the captain of Shinrone, and Megan King of St. Killian's. The half-backs of Una Kilmartin of Kilcormac Killahy, Aishin Brendan of St. Killian's, and Ellen Regan of Burr. It's Maria Teen and Money Gall and Ali Butler of St. Ryan's. Grace Teen, Rachel Brennan and Fiona Dooley will be in the half forward line, and the full forward line made up of Clodagh Lahey, Sarah Harding and Faye Mulrooney. For Clare, it sees a couple of changes from the team that played against Kilkenny the last day. We see Caoimhe Carmody and Ellen Casey getting starts, but listed in the programme, Darren Murphy will be in goal of Clare Castle, Mirren Scanlon of Broadford, Sinead O'Keefe of Kilmaley, and it's Niamh Mulqueen of Broadford. Linda Daly, then Abby Walsh, the joint captain, alongside the other joint captain Claire here are the half back line. At centre field now it's Roisin McMahon and Aoife Anderson. Jennifer Daly, Andrea O'Keefe and Caoimhe Carmody will make up the half forward line, and it's Ian Spillane, Ellen Casey coming in for the start, and Roisin Begley that will make up the full forward line. As we pause here for our own Naveen at Grant Heating, St. Brendan's Park in Burr. David and Jerv from Mentray are in the background here, bringing us the coverage live on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. And you saw there during our own Naveen the tricolour nearly being pulled off its mast over there, as a significant wind coming from the Tesco end here of St. Brendan's Park in towards the town, the famed town of Burr in County Offaly. Not too far away, one time there was an All-Ireland final held in this area. All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final, going back in the centuries now, but we're about to get underway in the current action live here. Elaine Dermody and Anne-Marie McGann are with me as Liz throws the ball in and gets the game on. Ali Butler got the first touch, but it's Clare that will attack the Tesco end then, heading into that breeze, a significant breeze, and a squally shower ran through us here in the last 10 minutes. It has dampened things down, but it hasn't dampened the wind. As getting on it is Caoimhe Carmody, got 2 points after she came on against Kilkenny the last day. Daniel Quigley, of course, unfortunately went off injured after 4 minutes, and Carmody came in, had a big game for Clare. Unfortunately, that game ran off away on them in the closing 10 minutes, and they lost out by 4-14 to 1-8. But a bit of a scrum form in here. We know that Offaly have to win by 6, but then they're not even in control of what Limerick do. If Limerick win by 7 or 8, they could be heading to Croke Park next weekend. But Clare know, win the game and it should be okay, or even lose it by a few points. But again, they don't know what Limerick are going to do. So it's all got to be in a situation of mind what you have, as Claire Herher tries to get this ball off now to Carmody, the Kilmaley player, looking to step inside, but she's held up well there by Ellen Regan. Then lick it off a stone, of course, as she, daughter of the great Dahi, as coming out with it is Amy Byrne. Looked like she overplayed the ball there, and a bit of a let off there in a way. Elaine, Offaly had done things very so well, and then she just probably got ahead of herself a little bit.
Yeah, she probably looked up the field there and she didn't see too many options, so she wanted to carry it again, but Clare put on good pressure. And first free now against the wind, we'll have an idea of the range here with this free.
Yeah, this will give us an idea, all right, as standing over this is Roisin Begley, who's had to step up to the mark here in the last couple of weeks because of the loss of Lorna McNamara, and she puts that ball over the bar for her opening score of the game. Anne-Marie, it's a good start into that heavy breeze.
Into the heavy breeze is right, I suppose. Roisin has stepped up, missing Lorna obviously now, and a couple of injuries have started for Clare, but it's a good start in fairness, and Clare will need to build on this.
It's exactly what they wanted, with down at the other end, Offaly are trying to source out the attention of Faye Mulrooney. Look at the top it over the bar, and she does very, very well on the pitch. She knows very, very well, of course, Elaine.
Yeah, Faye's no stranger to the town end in Burr, so good score, nice and sharp, and good start to the game. 2 minutes gone.
So, ball is short, puck out. As you can imagine, Clare are going to take a few. Darren Murphy, Sinead O'Keefe interchange. The ball played over towards Ellen Casey. Ellen in today getting the start, and Ellen, tall, strong player that I'm sure will have an impact. She's out around the middle obviously for some of those long deliveries, but now heading in around the edge of the square as Clare Herher stands over this. So we've 2 points in the space of 40 seconds. Match official Liz Dempsey, she's been helped out today by Donncha Callahan, who's here right in front of us on the stand side. On the far side it's Leisha Allen Doheny. And I'll be heading to Cork tomorrow, and so will Donncha O'Callaghan. He's the man in the middle for that game between Cork and Waterford. That'll be live on YouTube tomorrow as well if you want to keep an eye on Camogie action. This ball ring around the house. Casey looking to get away, surely had her arm pulled there, and the referee then says it was a free. Anne-Marie, I definitely thought her arm was being held.
I thought her arm was being held now, in fairness. That's probably what Ellen brings to it. She went straight into the full forward position. Hitting against that breeze was definitely going to drop short, and Clare Herher obviously aimed for her. Could have been a 50-50. Liz gave it for a throw ball. Maybe Ellen should have been a bit more sympathetic to the ground. If she had fallen, maybe she might have got the penalty.
True, but I don't think she has that element in her, in fairness to her. Strong, honest players. This ball is played back now to Ellen Regan, looking to drop it in and drop it over the bar. And as fate would have it, on the home pitch in Burr, 2 Burr players are on the market here, Elaine.
Yeah, Ellen is a great long range strike, and Clodagh just waited for her to make the move, and yeah, it was important that they got the next score. Clare have started well against the breeze. 2
points to 1 then. Faye Mulrooney and Ellen Regan, well known around these parts, on their home pitch, getting the 2 opening scores for Offaly, sandwiching the effort from Roisin Begley, who got us underway here as the ball is played inside now, looking for Begley, who will give a fill of it now to any full back or corner back here today, and Amy Byrne doing enough maybe just to knock her away from it, but Begley is back around the house there with Jennifer Daly. Jennifer, of course, one of the 4 Dalys from Scariff Ogonlow, as this ball is dug out again. Begley had it and then lost it. Byrne is not giving up there. She's still kicking it onto herself, and she does very well. Amy Byrne, the captain of this Offaly team, 2 wins on their home turf. Of course, that famed win against Wexford, who were the Leinster champions in that opening round championship game in Tullamore, and then they followed up with that fine win last week. Is on the ball here now, and good movement from Offaly with Ellen Regan knocking this ball across here now, looking for Grace Tehan maybe to get on the ball, and she does. Grace shortens the grip, popping the ball in. It's a dangerous enough one. Murphy's got to be careful. Has she dropped it out? No, umpire is happy enough. She has to slalom her way around Sarah Harding there to knock it out towards Clare Herher. Herher, big strong individual, of course, a former dual star with Clare, playing the ball towards Ellen Casey. Casey now out around the middle, as we said. Probably will be someone we'll see in around the goal mouth in the second half with that win behind Clare, but they're doing very well at the minute to dig this ball out and move it with Roisin McMahon. Low ball in here, looked like a dunt in the back there, the Clare forward, and that was Jennifer Daly, but no foul, says Liz Dempsey, and the ball is out and in the hand over there of Anya O'Connor from the famed O'Connor family. Pat, of course, scored a goal in that famed All-Ireland final against Limerick, of course. Ball is on the move now with Ali Butler in towards the corner forward position, but Niamh Mulqueen is there and alert to it to get this ball moving. You're watching the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship between Clare and Offaly. Final round game of Group 2. Long range shot coming in from Offaly centre back Aisling Brennan, but she's pulled that out to the left and wide. Some great skill out there, Elaine, so far, even in tricky conditions.
Yeah, brilliant skill. That was a great passage of play there. Some brilliant skills shown by Maria Tehan and also by Ellen Casey. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a tight one.
Clare living a bit dangerously here on regarding that, and the ball is sent back by Sinead O'Keefe. Offaly putting pressure on, but Clare get an opportunity to send this ball long, looking for Zian Spillane, but it's tight to that corner. And I have to say, Anne-Marie, I know they're going to have to do that probably against the wind, the short puck up, but they're living a bit dangerously on it.
They are, but I suppose they're kind of sacrificing Niamh Mull getting the second ball of Sinead O'Keefe, because she is picking up Clodagh Leahy, you know, and Clonlahy, and it's important for Niamh Mulqueen to stick with her, but someone else has to be there for the outball, or Clare are going to get caught.
Well, the outball might be coming out from Aisling Brennan, you'd imagine. They're saying Killian's player, of course, from the Carrick Riverstone area, not too far away here, just out the road, over on the border. Of course, we know that St Killian's players can line out for Tip or for Offaly. One Brennan has played with Tip, and her sisters, of course, that was Ciara. Her sisters are here lining out at number 6 and 11 for Offaly today. This ball is played over on the far side, picked up by Muireann Scanlon. Down along the wing it comes then, heading towards Begley in there. Begley having a right battle with Byrne. Both of them have they lost the stick. And they're just in a scenario. Begley couldn't catch it, and she did. She let it hit the ground. Played the ball back out towards Caoimhe Carmody. Probably just took a little bit too much out of it. Offaly there in numbers. Struck it to dig it out was Aisling Brennan. I think she has come away with it, but she's in a tight enough corner now, tighter than a phone box in there at the minute, and it's cleared with Ellen Casey. Gets it out here. Spillane looking to come onto it, shortening the grip and popping the ball high. Has she got it over the bar? She has. Sian Spillane, like a good out half, was on the edge of the ruck there and took that score well.
She took it well. I suppose I was nearly going to compliment Offaly. They were working back really, really hard, and kind of half pull on the ground and getting it out as far as Caoimhe Carmody, but a great score and a great bit of momentum from Clare. They're living dangerously though at the back.
Knocked on there now by Grace Tehan, trying to get control of the ball. Second time of asking, she does, giving it off to Faye Mulrooney. That's out to the left and wide. And unfortunately, Elaine, I don't want to be taking negative players. We're only 10 minutes in or thereabouts, but those chances have to be taken, especially when you have the wind. Especially when
you have that wind. It's hard to know how many, but you're talking probably a 5 or 6 point wind, I'd say, potentially. So, yeah, we have to be making use of all the chances. But Clare there took a quick puck out, which would surprise me when they are against the wind. But so they're kind of doing it, maybe did us a bit of a favour, keeping the tempo up. But then again, maybe not bothered about the wind.
No. Wind maybe not a factor at certain elements and puckouts, and Darren Murphy decided to go with the quick one, and over on the far side it has been turned into a free that Roisin Begley is about to take in front of her own dugout. Sideline cut sent in, and it's a free that Begley has won.
Clare have made a bit of a switch. Killian Jennifer Daly has gone into the full forward line, Ellen out on the wing, obviously a little bit different from the programme. And what Elaine said there about taking a quick puck out, you know, they probably should use Ellen a little bit more if they're going, you know, long and far. She's got a savage paw in her hand and potentially could pick up those long range puck outs from Darren. But it seems to be working so far for Clare at the moment, and hopefully I won't jinx Roisin like I did last week.
Roisin Begley then with the free, and that ball is put up and over the bar by her. So that's Clare back in front after going 2-1 down, now 3-2 in front, the 10th minute of the game. That original sideline, I might have said it was Begley, it was Andrea O'Keefe, of course. Just the two red helmets threw me off at that moment. We do see a little bit of position switching going on. It's a long ball now, lofted down in the direction of Grace Tehan. She seems to be the target, but she is over on this side of the field. Keeps the ball in play, trying to get up from the attention of the Clare player. Liz Dempsey seeing nothing wrong, allowing the play to continue. Down there trying to get it is Ellen Regan. Eventually, it's a lovely bit of stick work there by Clodagh Leahy, getting the ball towards Tehan. Grace now lets it get ahead of herself, looking to get inside, and a definite pullback there by Niamh Mulqueen. And I'd imagine there's going to be a ticking here at least for the Clare cornerback, and it should be a free and a chance for an equaliser there. Offaly had to work hard to get that free, didn't they, Elaine?
They sure did. In fairness, Liz is letting the play go for both sides, I think. But yeah, Grace Tehan's a great warrior. She's good to win frees, and it's not a very, very tricky free for Clodagh, but at the same time you just like to get that first one over if you can. Yeah,
first shot at goal. She got 11 of course the last day against Dublin. Clodagh Leahy, fine free taker now in her own right, has made the position her own in this Offaly team, and is the tallest woman for this side. Pulls it though to that left hand upright, and you're right, Elaine, it's just about getting that first one, but it was tricky because she probably was allowing for the wind a little bit.
Yeah, tricky for the left-handed player there. She probably needed to kind of drill it, but for whatever reason, look, she did brilliantly last week. I'm not going to criticise only the first few minutes, so hopefully she get another opportunity now to make that one right.
Yeah, maybe needs an easier one now. Over towards the dressing room entrance, Alan Doheny gesticulating that it's going to be a Clare ball, and at the minute Clare dictating the pattern of this game, and they'll be quite happy obviously with that. They can afford to lose this game by, I think, anything up to 5 points, and they'll still might be okay, but that all depends on what Limerick do against Dublin. So the first thing that they have to do is win it, and they won't have to worry about it. But then all of a sudden relegation comes into account for a couple of teams, because if Dublin were to get the win against Limerick and Offaly, the scenario then could be different, and who will play Wexford in that playoff in the coming weeks. Ball is played forward, but it definitely looked like a throw, and Liz spotted it. 3 points to 2. Clare leading then here. You're watching the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. It's Group 2, Round 5. The top two, whoever ends up being one, is already through. That's Kilkenny. Whoever joins them will be, of course, in Croke Park next weekend. And who will they be playing? Well, it'll be factored all out tomorrow, of course. That, of course, is the teams that finish 3rd and 4th in Group 1 tomorrow. At the minute, that sees Galway with Tipperary as this ball is played forward here by Clare, doing quite well. Pass on by Roisin McMahon towards Begley, send it towards that goal, but it's out for a 65. It probably just got a little bit too tight there, Anne-Marie.
I was just going to say it got nearly too far forward in front of Roisin to kind of do anything with it in terms of picking it up or that, and probably pulling on our weaker side. But Clare making the chances. To be fair, there isn't much between both sides. We're 12 minutes into the game so far. I don't think there is much in it. It's just who's probably going to get that crucial score in terms of getting a green flag. But look, it's all to play for so far. Limerick are leading at the moment in the other game. It's 3 to 4 points and there's 11 minutes gone.
Okay, so I'm sure the breeze is a factor, because the breeze is a factor around the country today. It's hard to believe, as we said, the change in temperature. Sure, everyone was basking in the glorious sunshine over the last while. We better say congratulations to Monaghan and Mayo. They've qualified for the junior final. They've defeated Donegal and Louth. So that will be the junior final coming up on the 11th of July. And that ball is gone to the left and wide. There from normal, reliable Roisin Begley. But we have to allow the fact she is playing into a strong breeze. So Monaghan and Mayo, they played in that league final. They meet again. On the 11th, Monaghan defeating Donegal 3-11 to 6. Mayo defeating Louth 16 points to 1-5. Ball is inside here. Crowd getting on it now as Grace Dean trying to get that ball off towards Claude Elahi, but the ball is eventually ruled to go out to the right and wide. A bit of a scramble defence there by Clare, but a little bit of a knockdown, and it caused all sorts of panic in there. Ball played out, trying to get it towards Andrea O'Keefe, but will reading to Ashton Brennan coming up, and then a very high up into the neck area. Bit of a high hurl, and Niamh McQueen pleading with Liz Dempsey for a bit of leniency, but she definitely get a yellow card here, because she already was noted minutes ago. It's a yellow card for Niamh McQueen. Anne-Marie, that puts her now in a little bit of a tricky spot for the remainder of the game, doesn't it?
It does, in particular because she's picking up Clodagh, so she'll have to watch herself now. I don't think there was anything particularly malicious in it. I think the two of them kind of just came together, but Niamh Mull kind of hit her with a little bit. It's a tricky free now again, a little bit further out, but the breeze doesn't seem to do anything major, and she'll be looking to put this between the posts.
Claude Elahi send it towards that left hand, and it's up and over the bar, and that'll settle her into her groove. Did miss one, but shows the measure of her, able to get back and take that free and put it over the bar. 11 the last day. She got 1-3 against Kilkenny, 1-6 against Limerick, 3 points against Wexford. She well able, as said, taking those frees, 3 points apiece. It is then here in St Brendan's Park in Burr. Give it its full title, Grant Heating. As this ball now to be taken by Clare here. So as you heard there, 1-3 to 4 points. Sarah O'Brien getting the goal for Limerick. Sarah, of course, who was a standout player in the Purcell Cup final. As this ball is knocked in. Ball is played out. Ellen Casey, and that's what she offers. She's on the break, turns and fires it over the bar. And you just can't give her that bit of room, Anne-Marie.
You can't, and you think that any free that's going to come around the 65 here, particularly playing against the breeze, is going to be a route in on top of Ellen. I'm surprised she didn't catch it, to be honest. She has a serious catch in her, and she'll be delighted to get that score.
ball anyway with Clare, trying to get it down here now in the direction of Jennifer Daly. Daly looking to come inside, looked like a pull of the jersey there on her by Ali Butler, but it's a ball that Clare continuing to move on with Aoife Anderson trying to get it forward, but she's robbed there by Butler and helped out by Aisling Brennan, looking to deliver it long now. We haven't really seen an opportunity maybe for Mairead Teahan to get on the ball and maybe show the talent and the ability that she has, as the ball is bypassed her on a couple of occasions down here towards Lahey and Grace Teahan, but the ball is on the deck, looking to recycle it Offaly, but maybe Clare have just got in there and get it dig out. Trying to get in there was Fianna Dooley, but ball eventually clear, but the mentor over on that far side for Offaly, quite happy with that. It looks like there was a foul on the ball, turnover anyway, and it's going to be a free for Offaly and a chance to go back in front. And as you said, left-sided striker on the right side of the field, it should suit her a bit better, Elaine.
Yeah, hopefully. I think the last free would have settled her down, but just, I mean, the ball is going into both full forwards lines at great pace, and it's just not sticking at either end. And I think if it does stick for the likes of Clodagh, or at the other end Roisin Begley, I think there could be a green flag on the way fairly soon. But look, the shower before the game probably makes the handling that little bit more difficult.
It definitely had just before. It has opened up the atmosphere just a little bit, but I'd imagine we're not too far away. Plenty of rain passing through as Clodagh Lahey sends this, and I think the umpires are heading to wave it wide there, and thought that might have said suited, but wide's out at Offaly maybe don't need with 18 minutes on the clock. Clare continue to lead. Mentioned Sarah O'Brien there getting that goal for Limerick. I should have said, of course, she was the player of the match for UCC as they won the Ashburn Cup back a number of months ago now, for the first time in a while in their history, of course. Sarah has got that goal for Limerick, and they lead Dublin. A loss there for Dublin, of course, and they're in the relegation battle with Wexford, and a Limerick win, and all of a sudden it puts a bit of pressure on here. So Clare know that if things are going the way they are for Limerick, they can't afford to lose here now. Driving on to this now, Rachel Brennan. Rachel with a lot of the field of Burr in front of her. Rachel Brennan settling on this and tapping it over the bar. Levels the game up here. Good score in the context of some of the missed chances that we've had in the last few minutes.
Yeah, that's Rachel all over. She's so direct. It's great to see. She's had a couple of injuries over the years. It's great to see her out there, and she just went straight, route one, head towards the goals, over the bar.
Ball is taken there and turned over by Offaly, trying to be urged on here by the crowd. Looked like again a pull on the jersey. Claire Hare not giving it up too easy over there as Offaly trying to recycle it with Fianna Dooley, who's getting a hard time, and then eventually is said to have overplayed the ball. I think that's a harsh call.
It's a harsh call now, to be fair. Even with a Clare hat on, I thought that maybe Claire Hare might have given away the free first, but then Myrne, I think, wrapped her arms around her, and Offaly could feel a little bit aggrieved there. But Clare kind of messing around, in the back line. It's not helping their situation, so they'll have to start clearing their lines. And to be fair, I don't think you can pick it up on the stream. It is quite slippy. Ball isn't going to hand. Girls are slipping. They're clearing out their boots. So, you have to allow for that, particularly with the rain that fell beforehand.
Ball is on the move then straight away. Teahan looking to get it inside. Nearly took it the first time, Sarah Hardy. Ball keeps going now. Mulqueen, who has a yellow card to her name, got to be careful. Blocked down now. Trying to get inside though is Clodagh Lahey. Lahey plays the ball inside. It's Grace Teahan. Ball in the back of the net. Grace Teahan knocks it home. And maybe now it'll spur Offaly on a bit here.
Absolutely, a goal always livens up any game. Great work by Clodagh. That's what you want from your forwards. Working. And Grace then was on hand, I suppose, to apply the finish. In the right place, the right time.
Yeah, I think the Clare defence were at 6s and 7s there. Really weren't fully in tune with the player that was coming across on the ball, as Ellen Regan now tries to drive things on, has support if she wants, but she elects to go long. It's a dangerous ball inside, in on top of Darren Murphy. Clare Castlelady knocks it down. Ball is still there. Clare under a bit of pressure now, trying to get in there and win it back as Faye Mulrooney, but the ball is going to be cleared, it looks like. Claire Hare back to try and help out. Dooley's over there trying to hold her up, looking to get this ball off as Clare are under a bit of pressure now, trying to dig it out, maybe with Roisin McMahon. McMahon looking to play a low ball down here as Aoife Anderson in there trying to help her out. Ball is in a bit of a ruck and a scrum. Play continuing on. Offaly buoyed by that at the moment here. Ball is kicked out, going down on the ball, and it should be a free. And all of a sudden, Offaly could find themselves 4 points in front here. Just going back to the goal, Anne-Marie. I think the fact that Niamh Mulqueen has a yellow card, I think that helped that goal, if you understand me. I think she might have stopped her if she hadn't the card.
She probably, would have pulled her back farther out around the outside post here and stopped the girls getting in behind her. But, it's a difficult one to do because she probably would have got a second yellow and Clare would have been down to 14. And just looking at it on the replay here again, there was at least 5 or 6 Clare players back there. Who was picking up who at that stage will be a question, I suppose, for management. But it definitely has upped the ante here for Offaly, and we said that a goal would make the difference. And, Offaly seem to be buoyed by that now a little bit, and another free in here for Clodagh.
Yeah, well, it's throwing the cat amongst the pigeons now. It doesn't mean that Clare are gone, but Limerick are winning, so that could change matters as well. And I hope you have the calculators, girls, with you, as the ball is knocked over the bar. And Clodagh, she's missed 2, but she's got 2. And that's her second after 22 minutes. So 1-4-4. So scoring difference is the scenario to decide who will be in Croke Park next weekend. And at the minute, Clare will finish on 9, Limerick will be on 9, Offaly will be on 9. Then it will come down to that scoring difference. We know that Offaly have to win by 6. They lead by 4. Limerick lead by 1. As this ball is sent in by Clare Harris, a dangerous ball. Ellen Casey lost her hurl. Looked like she fell there in a tangle of legs as that ball was coming in. So Vinci kicked out Begley. Just a little bit too tight out to the right and wide. Defence doing their job there, Elaine.
Absolutely, yeah. I just noticed there with Clare and all those long range frees, Roisin Bregley is bringing Amy Byrne right out to the corner forward away from the square and trying to isolate Ellen Casey in there on the edge of the square, so I'll have to watch that.
Ball played long inside now. The goal scorer trying to get on it was Grace Teen, and then it went through to Claude Lahi, and Mulqueen tries to get it out here. Clare looking to come out from the back, but getting up there is Ellen Regan, and driving out with the door Abby Walsh, the captain of course, a joint captain of this Clare team, an Ashburn Cup winner with UCC. It's forward to Begley of True Clonlara, looking to get inside, held up there by Byrne Shirley, looking to scoop it in over, dangerous ball. Vinci going to be called back, and Emer Reynolds had to be careful there as that ball was scooped over, but the free is in. And as Elaine has already alluded to, Anne-Marie, Begley is causing problems for that Offaly defence.
Yeah, she is pulling her out. I'm surprised it's not a yellow. I suppose it's similar to what Niamh Mulqueen did up here, although Niamh was probably noted just before the time she got the yellow. But Roisin Begley, if she gets a ball out in the corner, you see what she can do there, turning. Sometimes she doesn't give herself enough space to kind of to get in fully on the player, but any kind of flick or a flip of a ball in around the square is always dangerous, particularly in Camogie.
Yeah, and she puts that ball over the bar, her third free of this first half of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5. It's a big decider, of course, because, as we said, it will determine who will be joining Kilkenny in Croke Park next weekend. 25 minutes gone, and Clare conceded that goal, and now have to work their way back as the holding the ringside seat, of course, to join Kilkenny. But Offaly know that they probably have to be up at half time here to be able to give themselves a chance in the second half of defeating Clare and putting themselves in position. It's here, Andrea O'Keefe. O'Keefe now getting inside the attention of Aisling Brennan. O'Keefe goes low. What a save! Emer Reynolds still not gone away though. Carmody trying to get in there, stepping inside again, looking to get the hand pass off, but it was not enough, and Megan King able to step around Carmody and offload the pass over to the far side now to be able to be cleared. Unica Martin, but a cracking save there by Emer Reynolds.
Emer Reynolds has been in great form. What a save. I mean, Andrea O'Keefe did everything right, kept the ball low, bounced in front of her, and still a wonderful save.
Cracking save, keeping things level here, down towards Claude Lahi. Lahi now has a shout inside, maybe has the number 11 shirt of Rachel Brennan, but goes back on the right hand side, plays a little ball. I'm not sure she meant it for who was going to, but eventually makes it to Sarah Harding. Harding though is disrupted by that by Sinead O'Keefe. O'Keefe now turned into a bit of trouble, but she has help from Abby Walsh. Walsh puts the head down and drives on out now into the teeth of that breeze, come from the Tesco end here at St Brendan's Park in Burr. Right game as the home side lead 1-5 inside. Zian Spillane gives it off here now to Andrea O'Keefe. O'Keefe nearly had a goal chance, pops the pass off here now. Carmody was trying to get in on, Ball is broken away, and it's the Offaly defence. Again, just a little bit too intricate by Clare. Trying to get across there. Roisin McMahon disrupts that clearance from an Offaly point of view. Everyone fighting for this now. 4 minutes to the half-time break. 1-5 to 5 points. Offaly need to win by 6, as that ball is adjudged to have been fouled by Offaly defence coming out, as the chance for Clare to narrow this to 2 points. Helter-skelter here, Anne-Marie.
It's after taking off like a mile a minute, but Clare are doing too much. Like, just put the ball over the bar. I don't know, we could have, a point there from Andy a few minutes ago. We could have had another point there, and there'd only be a point in it going in at half time, potentially maybe a draw. There's no need probably to try and stick the ball in the back of the net, take the couple of scores, and keep the scoreboard ticking over. But what an unbelievable save by Emer Rillans, as was said. Andy did everything right down to the bottom corner, hit it as hard as she could, and an unbelievable save.
Begley puts her fourth free over the bar. Word from Cappamore, second goal for Limerick. Lisanna Boylan has got that 5 to 6 points. That's really putting the cat amongst the pigeons here now, because even if Offaly win by 6, if Limerick win by 7, they could be the ones that take that second place. So still all to go for. And as I said, I hope you have the calculators out if we're going to be able to work this one out. But Roisin Begley has narrowed the gap, making it 1-5 to 6 points. Clare know that if they just win this game, that's all that matters. Because they can't take the risk on anything else, permutations coming into play, as they try to drive on in that ball, and it's another free. Just in the last couple of minutes, Maria Lane, whoever wants to pick it up, Clare just seemed to have got to grips with things again after the goal.
Yeah, they look very dangerous. I know some of the passes are not sticking, but they're opening us up a little bit down the middle, which would be a concern. We probably see where this free lands now. It's a fair distance out against that breeze. Probably need to get another score. We definitely need to get another score or two before half time.
So Ellen Casey, before the game, was knocking him over from fun from the halfway line, but she had the wind at her back into the Tesco end then as she dropping this ball in. It's a dangerous enough one and had to be batted away by Emer Reynolds, but she did the right thing, as far away from trouble as possible. Zian Spillane looking to turn inside, holding off for her immediate marker. Ball falls on the deck, and it's Offaly's number 5, Una Kilmartin, one of 3 sisters, of course, from KK that are on this team. Kilcormac Callaghy, of course, is at Fame Club. As this ball is with O'Keefe trying to get inside. Aisling Brennan, someone gets a kick on, and now it's Casey looking to fire it, batted away again. I thought she could have actually ventured on in that ball a bit.
She could a small bit, but Ellen isn't known for, and I hope she doesn't kill me for saying it, known for her legs. It's more for her power and her shots and her hand. And in fairness, an unbelievable stop again by Emer Reynolds. Two magnificent, even if I could say it, saves for Offaly, and really keeping them in the game. But a little bit intricate again from Clare, when Zian got the ball inside, probably didn't give herself enough room to turn around and get a shot off. But Clare seemed to be bowed a little bit. I don't know why it's a throw ball here or what's going on. I thought it was a 45, but we play on anyway.
Jack Maher not afraid to change things up. Fianna Dooley has been called ashore, and it's Katie O'Connell that was down in the programme to start. St. Rina's player is in. So it's Katie O'Connell in for Fianna Dooley, as ball is on the deck back there. Offaly defence trying to get in over it. We'll be interested to see how much time we have. I wouldn't say we'll have a whole lot, but it's advantage Offaly as they clear. They lead 1-5 to 6 as this ball trying to get to the goal scorer Grace Tehan. Looked like a pull of the jersey, and Liz Dempsey says that's true, and it's going to be a free that Claude Elahi, I'm sure, will be standing over here. 2-5 to 7 in Cappamore. It's a draw game in Wexford, between Wexford and Kilkenny, but that game matters little, other than maybe Wexford might give themselves a shot in the arm before they play the relegation playoff. Been a bit of a disappointing run in the last couple of weeks for Wexford when you consider they were Leinster champions coming in on such good form. 1-5 to 6 points it is. We're into the additional time then, whatever Liz Dempsey will add her. 1 I think we saw. Okay, thanks girls. I know I have the extra pair of eyes here today. It's great to have as that ball is put in and it's over the bar. Claude Elahi with her third. And that pushes it back out again. 1-6 to 6 then. Puck out from Darren Murphy. So 30 seconds of injury time to play. Ball broken down here with Roisin McMahon trying to get on it here. It's Clare's number 11, Andrea O'Keefe, and that ball was taken out over the line by Aisling Brennan. So 1-6 to 6 it is here. And we'll let you know how the other games are going. Limerick leading and Wexford and Kilkenny drawing. But the only game we're going to be worrying about is such no disrespect to Kilkenny and Wexford is the Limerick game in Cappamore, and 2 goals for Limerick in that first half helps their chances. Ball is played forward. Bit of a battle between Anya O'Connor and Ellen Casey, but it's Bigley that wins it. Fires the ball across field now, looking for a bit of a run. In fairness, Clare Hare hasn't given up on this. She's made 40 or 50 yards to get onto this ball. Crash ball onto it. Hare still going. Advantage awarded. She turns back on her right, fires it over the bar. And she's just a lady you don't want in that position because she's able to win that kind of crash ball.
Clare, in fairness, she's a serious servant for the county of Clare and Camogie over the years, and you know, she would have, I'd say now she's glad that half time has come, because that was a long bursting run from her from wing back, but delighted to get the score on the board. Only 2 points in it. I would have said Clare probably had a number of chances maybe to get another 2 or 3 scores on the board to maybe even at least go in level at half time, but I think both teams will be happy. In fairness, there is nothing really between these teams.
Elaine, you could say the same thing about Offaly. They could have done with 1 or 2 of the chances they've missed too, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could have done with a few extra scores, and I suppose Clodagh might be disappointed 1 or 2 of the frees, but I suppose between the wind and the slippy conditions it is a little bit tricky, but I think the players are coming to terms with it a bit better. It's all to play for. Like, we'll be hoping the wind dies down a little bit from an Offaly perspective, but there's no signs of that. We said it was going to be tight, and I think it is going to be tight, so both managements now will reset at half time.
Well, I'd imagine, as was said there, Eugene Foodie won't be too unhappy. They're only 2 points down, having played into a strong breeze. The breeze might have just dropped somewhat, but the tricolours you can see on the far side of the pitch is still blowing a fair strong down into the town here of Burr. But Offaly have given themselves a chance. They have got a goal after 20 minutes. It was well worked, a combination of players being able to set up Grace Tean, who was able to essentially walk it into the net to give them that bit of a boost. And in fairness, Clare did come back, points from Begley, 2 of them from on the 25th and 28th minute, but that Clodagh Leahy point there as well, just pushing things out before half time, sees Offaly in front by 1-6 to 7 points here at half time in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5, for the right to see who will be joining Kilkenny in the draw on Monday morning, and also heading for Croke Park next weekend. Just to check in on how matters are going elsewhere then, to let you know that in Cappamore they are in injury time, and it is Limerick 2-6, Dublin 7 points. So Limerick are getting very close to wiping out that score differential there and putting themselves in a situation. So Clare know they have to win this game, or Limerick could all of a sudden get involved in all the permutations that could happen here. 1-6 to 7, if that was to be the full-time score, won't be enough for Offaly. Even if the words are said to get the win, they won't overturn the score differential on Clare. But then the thing is, I said, Limerick could come into the equation. So this is not done and dusted by any account just yet. In the half-time in the other senior game, Wexford 1-2, Kilkenny 5 points is how that game is playing out. Again, we say well done to Monaghan and Mayo. They've qualified for the junior final that is taking place on July the 11th. It's a repeat of their league final a couple of months ago, and Monaghan defeated Donegal 3-11 to 6 points. Mayo overturned an earlier game against Louth to win today in the semi-final by 16 points to 1-5. There's also a Premier Junior action. The unbeaten Cavan find themselves a point down against Tyrone. Kildare and Wicklow, they've both winless in the Premier Junior competition so far. Kildare lead handsomely 1-14 to 3 points, and I'm waiting to get a score on Armagh and Roscommon. But those are the scores that you're up to date with here at the minute. The game that we have live, Offaly trying to put themselves in a situation to be in contention to be going to Croke Park next week. Lead here at half time by 2, but they do have the elements against them in the second half. So we take a break here for the moment. It's Offaly 1-6, Clare 7 points. Back, just about to get in position here then for the second half. So as things would stand, Clare would still be in the quarter-final draw on Monday and in Croke Park next week. All the permutations mean that Offaly have to win by 6. That's still out there, and they're coming charging down the field now, knowing that obviously they have a chance here with Mairead Keane leaving that ball behind her. We saw her score a great goal against Wexford in Tullamore a few weeks back as that ball breaks, and it is Clare looking to build up with it. Niamh McQueen, who is on the yellow card. No one taken off at half time. We did see a change for Offaly just before the half time break where Fianna Dooley was replaced by Katie O'Connell. But ball now with the wind behind him. Clare win this game, of course. That's them in the quarterfinals. It means even if Limerick win, they're not going to be able to catch them, and themselves and Offaly would stay in third and fourth place. But if Dublin were to come back against Limerick, well then all of a sudden you might see teams pulled into the relegation playoff on scoring difference. So at the minute we're going to stay positive. We're looking at all those heading in a positive direction, heading towards trying to qualify for that quarter-final place. But at the minute Clare still hold all the cards. Scoring average at the minute would have Clare on -5, Limerick on -9, Offaly on -12. So that would still have, as I said, Clare, even in losing the game, heading into that draw on Monday. Goal scorer Grace Keane is the player that is down, being tended to here at the minute by Offaly physio.
Katie O'Connell for Offaly came on, I suppose it wasn't starting at the game, came on a wing forward and now gone in forward on top of Sinead O'Keefe. So obviously they'll try to get a bit of ball into her and try and get a couple of scores, but we saw what Mairead Keane could do there with the run on. She's deadly, and Clare will have to keep tabs on her. A hard free now for Oisin, I suppose, a little bit far out, but the breeze hasn't dropped, in fairness, so she has the backing of that behind her.
Begley then on the top of the football arc, sends that ball up and over the bar, her 5th point of the game. Here from a Clare point of view, just what the doctor ordered. Makes it 1-6-2, 8 points then. We're going to have a bit of a stoppage in at the end of the game with that hole up there. We lost about a minute or so as Offaly tried to drive on now with Rachel Brennan. Got a fine point in the first half, playing it in the direction of Sarah Harding. Lets it fall over grass, but despite the attention, Claire Herr gets the ball, tried to get the pass off, has to go back and win it again, and does that very well against Linda Daly. Giving the ball out here now towards Ellen Regan. Got a good score early doors of the first half. Dangerous ball, dropping in. Ball is gone out to the right and wide. Offaly, ultimately, Elaine, are going to have to take every chance you would feel because they are playing into that strong breeze.
They are, and the forwards are going to have to try and hold the ball up there as well, if they can at all. But look, it's easier said done. You see how far it's travelling there.
Bit of a race over there between Una Kilmartin and Zian Spillane, but it's Clare that have won it with Linda Daly popping this ball in now. Ellen Casey trying to get in around the house, trying to put pressure here on Anya O'Connor. Ball on the deck and going to be picked up there. Clare's Zian Spillane somehow has got it back in her pocket. Spillane slaloming her way, giving it off now. Begley going to turn, hits the side netting. And sometimes when you put her, Anne-Marie, in that position, she tends to find the back of the net. She
does, in fairness to her. Just a difficult, probably too tight again maybe, and hit the side net. And I see a sub on for Clare. Number 23 is on for Maeve Millay is on for Clare. So she scored 1-1 or 1-2 there in the league final already this year. She knows where the goalpost is, and hopefully she'll get on a bit of ball.
Oh, Maeve Millay, we didn't hear the announcement. Maybe it wasn't relayed to the public address, but Maeve Millay is in. Maeve, who did score a goal against Wexford when Wexford were threatening to get back into the game at the start of the second half down in Wexford Park a few weeks ago. We were covering that game, and Maeve essentially ended that encounter. So Caoimhe Carmody, despite having a good performance the last day, is the one that has been called ashore here at half time. Ball breaks, Spillane, and Lahey going at it, but it's Lahey that wins out, driving this ball long. It's a dangerous ball in around the house now, trying to get onto it. Here's Grace Tehan, got the goal. Will she try and take on her marker again, try to hoosh her off for Katie Taylor style? Ball is knocked back out here. It's Walsh looking to deliver it now, gets a half spock at it, but gets it out enough here in the direction of Roisin McMahon. Ball is on the ground. Ellen Casey trying to get in there, but it's Offaly trying to win it back with their corner back. Anya O'Connor popping the ball inside. Not a great ball towards Maria Tehan, who strange enough has struggled to get to the pitch of this game, despite the fact Offaly are in front, but she might get onto it here now. Maria Tehan looking to get forward, scooping the ball in the direction here now. Rachel Brennan's shot blocked down by the other number 11. That was Andrea O'Keefe, but the referee said illegally, so it's going to be a free in. But I think if Andrea O'Keefe hadn't done that, Elaine, possible goal opportunity.
Yeah, potentially. The ball was kind of running there, and Rachel knows where the goal is. She loves the direct route to goal. Just see Clodagh Lahey now is kind of playing, I don't know whether it's a sweeper role or not. She's been picked up, but so Clare obviously not going to leave her free. And she's a wonderful playmaker, but really you're taking a scoring threat away. And I'd like to see Maria Tehan further in, closer to the goals. I think she provides a great threat, and I think we need to get her much more involved in the game. And the fact that she's taking this free maybe shows that she's going to stick up that end of the field for a while.
Yeah, Maria Tehan is the one that took over the free taking there on that one. Maybe a ploy to get her in the game, I suppose, a little bit, and that's understandable. As the puck out then to come, Darren Murphy has a fine puck out and delivers this towards the opposition 65. Nearly took it first time of asking there, Jennifer Daly, but the ball fell from her grasp. Ellen Casey trying to get in on it, but it's Offaly's ball potentially, as wasn't a whole lot that Offaly's number 6 Aisling Brennan could do there, and Liz Dempsey elects that she's going to throw the ball in. Alan Doheny is the man on this side. You just saw him on the left of your screen there, the Laois official, and over on the far side Donica Callahan from Limerick. As a Limerick man, I'm sure he'll be anxious to hear how the Limerick Camogues are getting on, and we will update you there. Limerick were in front at half time, 2-6 to 8 points. We haven't seen that change just yet into the second half, as ball has been turned over in favour of Clare. Crowd not overly happy with the match official here, so it's going to be a free for Clare. Roisin Begley's coming over to this. I'm actually surprised Ellen Casey maybe not taking it in a way, but Begley is of course the free taker. Maybe they want Casey in on the edge of the square here. They still trail, but they are still in the quarter-final draw on Monday morning. Begley, that's high and handsome, and it's on its way. Judged that expertly up and over the bar.
What a score by Roisin Begley. I mean, we probably doubted her in a few closer in ones, but the test stood to her there. She was well able, and the breeze is behind her now, so I'd say she's going to be taking a few of those long range as well.
Yeah, narrowing the gap, 1-7 to 9 points then, 8 minutes into the second half. It's probably struggled to ignite a little bit, and Offaly just maybe taking on a bit of water here at the minute as Maeve Millay gets inside. She did the same against Wexford. Elects to go for the score to level things up, and there it is. It's wiped out very, very quickly, and Offaly have got to get to grips with this.
Yeah, we just need to stem the tide now a little bit. We need to hold the ball up at the far end of the field, get organised around the back line, because Clare kind of hitting a bit of a purple patch. It's been kind of scrappy so far in the second half, so hopefully it'll ignite a bit better now. Yeah,
Clare have come out and got the opening scores. We did have a point from Maria Tehan in there, but it's been 2 from Roisin Begley and 1 now from Maeve Millay. Maeve from the Partine Malik. Looks like Aoife Anderson is being called ashore as at number 20 over there is coming on. That's Claire McNamara. Claire did start against Kilkenny, twin sister of Lorna, of course. So Aoife Anderson of Rouen called ashore, and that happening here after the 40 minute. Now that ball goes in and out to the right and wide. A bit of a let off. Those are chances that maybe Clare can't afford to give up either. There's a ball out to the middle. Abby Walsh looking to come out of a bit of a crash ball, and Anya O'Connor, thou shall not pass too easy.
Abby,
made a good stuff.
She's made a steel, that lady, captain UCC this year to the Ashburn Cup, and I tell you don't want to be coming up against her in the Clare Championship. She is a serious bit of stuff. She probably was one of Clare's standout performers through the league campaign, particularly in the Munster quarter final. She is a lethal bit of camogie player.
Yeah, so two strong players clashing there, but the referee electing it's a free for Clare, and it's Bigley putting everything behind that, dropping it high and handsome. And there we are, over the bar, and that's Clare in front. Roisin Bigley in the opening 10 minutes has already got 3 points, and she also had a goal chance and a wide. So she's been a busy woman in the opening 10 minutes here. Ball knocked forward. Offaly now need to get themselves back in the hunt here. A goal would help that out. And they probably will need a goal, and probably a couple of them, if they are to overturn that 6-point deficit that they need. We'll keep an eye on Cappamore, but of course it'll matter little what happens at Cappamore if Clare win here. Ball down towards Malay, and that ball has gone out to the right and wide. Long ball, it was knocked in there by Jennifer Daly. Ball knocked out here, short puck out, taking the oohs and ahs of the crowd because it was kind of a left behind a little bit by Offaly. Ball out here, Sarah Harding having to come a long way out, pushes her player off and drops this ball long now, being urged on by the crowd, and it's a ball that's left and dropped there by Faye Mulrooney. Trying to judge that wind as that ball is coming in, it's held up in the wind, and you very easy could run out underneath it. As Abby Walsh trying to get back there, but it's knocked on. Tian nearly got it. Elaine was nearly up out of her seat here, thinking the break was on. The ruck is still there, digging it out. Who is it? Oh, it looks like it's the number 9 shirt, is it? Yeah, it's a shot. Oh, referee says the ball ended up in the net. I will say the whistle was gone before she hit it. So Katie O'Connell though somehow got out of that ruck with that ball, and we'll just see it here. Gets away, but I definitely heard the whistle before she got it, and the player stopped. Yeah, so no question about it. The whistle had gone, the players had stopped. Ball was knocked to the back of the net. So chance Conor Began. Ball down here now. Clare lead then, having had a great start to the second half, coming out and hitting 4 points, 3 of them from Roisin Begley. Ball is with Spillane. Zian Spillane has the player inside her. It's Andrea O'Keefe settling on this, heading towards that upright. It's out to the left and wide. Good defensive play again, Elaine, but Offaly need a little bit more now coming forward here.
Yeah, Amy burned it very well there on Roisin Begley, but ball got, I don't know what happened really on the way out, and a shot that probably Andrea O'Keefe would be disappointed with.
So coming forward again now, our Offaly is driving it forward, still putting the head down, dropping it in. It's a dangerous enough ball. Darren Murphy though is able to play it out low. Niamh Mulqueen won't thank her for that one. 2 Offaly players around her, but fairness to the young Broadford lady, she's done very, very well getting the ball out here now. Clare looking to build from the back a little bit. Ellen Casey trying to get it in her hand, has to eventually kick it on, has done enough. Abby Walsh coming on to this ball, the Ashburn Cup winner with UCC, held up illegally around the neck, and she's happy with that. I don't think there was any doubt it was a free for Clare. Offaly crowd are not happy. They probably feel that maybe Liz has been a little bit harsh on them, but Abby Walsh knew what she was doing, got in and won that ball, and then waited for the contact. The contact came and she judged it to be high, and it was, and there's no doubt it was a free. Claire Hare knocking this ball long and handsome down to the back post. Byrne gets a knockdown on it. Offaly are there in numbers, darkening overhead. Hopefully we don't get another shower of rain coming from the Ross Gray direction as this ball is heading up in the direction of the Offaly defence, but it's Clare to come out with it. That looked a high. Offaly not happy, but I have to say Miriam Scanlon might have been slipping at the same time, but the challenge to me looked high. $11 points to 1-7, 45 minutes gone in this Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 Round 5, and Alan Doheny is called in, the referee, to say you need to talk to Rachel Brennan, and it looks like it's going to be a yellow card for Rachel. Yeah, and it is a yellow card. So Clare Hare now with this opportunity, 15 minutes to go. Clare are in control of their own destiny because they lead this game. Dublin have fought back against Limerick. They're level there. So at the minute it's going along expected lines. Ball dropping in, drops out to the left and wide. And the Offaly crowd see that as a little bit of retribution. But I don't think there was any doubt about the yellow card as this ball heads out. Trying to get it here towards Anya O'Connor. Anya goes down under the challenge. It is a free. Anya knew what she was playing at too. She knew if the challenge was coming. And it's game smart, you call that.
I think Liz was thinking about getting out of her safety and she wanted to give that one, I think.
Free to come then. Ray Tehan knocking this high and handsome. It's tailing a little bit and it's out to the right and wide. Offaly just look a bit bereft of idea a little bit, I have to say, in the forward line at the minute. Needs to be more possession based ball, I think, as we have a hold up here. Referee is looking, I think she made a signal for a blood sub. So looking to make a quick substitution there. It looks like Rachel Brennan has picked up some injury. Looks like she's heading with the physio to the sideline there to get that patched up. So they'll be entitled to bring on a blood sub.
I think
Limerick back in front, 2-7-12.
I think that Offaly aren't doing themselves any justice by moving back Cuevalahi sweeping. I mean, she's one of their star players and she should be up in the forward line, taking a couple of points or a couple of goals, and I think they've lost their way a bit by moving her back in this second half.
Well, I don't understand it when you've 15 minutes to go and you're trying to win, get to Croke Park next weekend. I have to say that's just my personal opinion. I think you just go for the lane, don't you?
Yeah, well, I think the thing about it is she's too far back. Yeah. If she's out around the middle of the field, but she's in her own, she's inside the 30-metre line. Way too far back in my opinion, yeah.
Anyway, they're breaking out here, an opportunity to drive on. They do need a goal, I think, quickly, and this might be the opportunity to provide it. It's a fair long run and a good score by Katie O'Connell. Some great close control by Katie, in fairness to her.
Yeah, and she was pulled the last time for overcarrying, but she shortened up the hurl, and that was a nice score. We needed it, we really did.
Yeah, Offaly badly needed that. It's their only their second score. It's 12 minutes since their last one in this second half. Live here at the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Group 2 round 5 encounter. Andre O'Keefe getting on this ball, offloading the pass. Begley will be dangerous from here, has put it over the bar, and that's the difference. Long puck out straight away, action, movement, and you have someone that can take a score at the other end.
And you saw Andy, she didn't even go contest the ball. She knew that the two Offaly players and the Clare girl were going to miss it. She dropped in behind and got the ball on the run and passed it off to Roisin Begley. A great score for Roisin Begley. Actually her first score from play. Everything else has been from frees today, and she'll be buoyed by that now. Get another couple of scores for Clare here and keep the scoreboard ticking over.
She's the one that's keeping Clare ticking in the right direction. 8 points of that, 12. As I said, her first score from play. But as I said, they're putting themselves in a situation where they are in control of their own destiny and don't have to worry about any other permutations. Ball breaks. Abby Walsh. Darkened skies here as it has been for a lot of while. You're nearly expecting it to open the heavens at any minute. Getting on to this ball now. Jennifer Daly looking to step inside. The ball broken down though by Ellen Regan, shouted on by her home crowd, and I'm sure family not too far away. That, of course, the great Dahi, All-Ireland winner with Offaly. Is this ball diverted across now? Looking for Maeve Millay. Millay looking to step inside. Byrne gets a pass towards Spillane, but left behind. Ellen Casey looking to get involved. She'll look to strengthen and have a shot at this, and she puts it over the bar. Again, Offaly a little bit at 6s and 7s back there. 50 minutes gone, 10 minutes to go. You feel Elaine, they have to cut loose now soon.
Yeah, I must give credit there to Clare Hare though. What a great ball, yeah. Crisscross ball, a forward stream, a defender's nightmare. But yeah, we again, I see Clodagh coming out around midfield now. We need her further up the field, and we just need to get the next score if at all possible. So
Ali Butler has been called ashore, and Ciara Maher a money goal. Got a point against Kilkenny the last day, or I should say 2 games ago. Is in. As driving onto this ball is Sarah Harding. Harding now offloading it. Grace Keane, the goal scorer in the first half, held up by Clare Hare. Hare is pulling her by the jersey. She's still going. Advantage being played. The Offaly crowd calling for it a long way out. You saw a great shot of it there, David, on camera. And well, Clare, I'd say, knows the size of the jersey at this stage. She paying so close attention there to Grace Keane, but she couldn't afford her to have a shot from that angle. And between the 2 giant captains that were ensuring there was no way Grace Keane was getting a shot off. So waiting to see what kind of scenario is happening here. It's Mairead Keane definitely going to take it. So just a reminder again that Ali Butler is the one that's heading off there. She was down to start. And Ciara Maher is on. And it's a yellow card there for Clare Hare. I fully expected it anyway. I think Clare will be quite happy to take it at this stage.
She go for it.
She has to go for it, and it's blocked on the line. Clare defence do that needful. Probably could have done with that ball maybe skipping along the ground a little bit. 13 points to 1-8. Bit of a scrum forming now, and the players are coming from all angles. Diane Spillane has ran 50 yards to get in here on the end of in case that happened.
The only thing hitting a ball like that at Darren Murphy, Darren has national and international handball, ability. There's no way you're going to beat her at that kind of height. It's got to be low to the ground. And we were talking before the game, AstroTurf is a disaster to play in as a goalie. Yeah. So Mairead probably would have been better at hopping it off the ground and see where it ended up.
That's, absolutely. Probably just didn't get enough top spin on it anyway. But of all people, who's up there? Amy Byrne, the captain from Shinrone and Offaly, trying to drive forward, but Diane Spillane is there with Clare Hare knocking this ball long. It's the other number 7 though that looks like it got some kick off the ground there, and Ellen Regan had to readjust the feet to try and get back, but the referee is calling it back. There was ball was actually come out over the line, and probably well spotted by Alan Doheny up there. So sideline that Rachel Brennan back in on the field of play. Just looking at this penalty again here from Mairead Keane. Probably got a little bit too high, as Clare somehow have turned this ball over, being urged to deliver that ball there, knocking it far side of the field now, looking for a bit of a run out of Maeve Millet. Ball is there, maybe could turn out for the number 15 Roisin Begley looking to get in on it, snaffling in on it, tried to turn it over her own head and for the Offaly defenders, but Offaly coming out with it. Looked like a high challenge. Ellen Casey there on Aisling Brennan, but you probably have to allow for the fact as well that Ellen Casey is standing about 6'2" tall. But Begley is trying to turn into that, but probably well played as well by Brennan, as goalkeeper Emer Reynolds comes out to take this free. 7 minutes of time remaining. Limerick have got a third goal. They lead 3-8 to 14 points. But none of that matters really, because Clare will win here at the minute. But it could put other scenarios in play. But I think Offaly are going to be safe. If Limerick beat Dublin, it will be Dublin and Wexford in a playoff. As the ball is played inside, Walsh has read that so well, popping the ball out here, popped over Andrea O'Keefe's head, and it looks like it's going to go over the line, and it is going to be an Offaly ball. I have to say, Anne-Marie, Clare have been very smart. They've played this second half very well. Yeah, they have, and they've played with the breeze as well. Like, particularly where I was just talking here beside me, Clare Hare. Clare is a magnificent sweeper, but she's actually really well at marking back there, and she cut off that ball or any kind of sniff that Offaly are trying to get. Now, the other thing is the Twin Tower is on here at the moment, Anya O'Loughlin. We know what she can do, and we know what kind of hand she has in her. Although Ellen, had played well, has got 2 points. I say Anya, if they hit the ball, they probably will go route one here on top of her and see how she gets on. Yeah, one Twin Tower for another. If you were the Offaly defence, you're saying goodbye to one, and now next thing you turn around and you see Anya O'Loughlin coming in. Anya O'Loughlin, of course, who played in a All-Ireland club final in Croke Park with True Clonlara. Ball across into the middle. It was an intelligent enough ball from O'Keefe, but wasn't really pulled on by Clare Hare and Jennifer Daly, as the Offaly have turned it over. Offaly, as said, have played I feel, within themselves in this second half, only getting 2 points. Ball is out here to Claude Elahi, who is their scorer-in-chief, back playing as a sweeper. Tries to diagonal this ball a little bit to try and get Grace Tehan on the ball, but it's read there by Aoife Anderson. Anderson looking to step inside. Won a Purcell Cup with Joel this year. Looking to play the ball into the corner now. Looking for a bit of movement, but that ball is going to trail all the way to the end line, and it's out to the right and wide. Ball knocking long. Clare looking to dig it out. Maeve Millay in there. The Partine Malik player has a point to her name. But kicking it on, and Roisin McMahon takes control of it, tries to dive inside two Offaly players, but she gets enough on it. Zian Spillane held up there by the other number 13, Claude Elahi. It's going to be a free in. And I would think this will cement things for Clare here a little bit. They'll be in the draw on Monday morning, and they'll also be in Croke Park next weekend. I'd imagine they'll be appealing to the Camogie Association to ensure that they're on with their men.
The only thing, that's the plan, but the other side of it is if Galway were to finish third, if they didn't beat Tipperary tomorrow, there'll be a similar kind of, the Camogie Association love a coin toss, so something like that might be happening on Monday after the draw is done, but we're hoping, it would be a great occasion for Clare GA.
Yes, as Roisin Begley puts that ball over the bar for her 9th point of the game. Her free taking ability so key here. Girls, you might start thinking about a player of the match. We have to award it at the end of the game. Who is your standout? At the minute, I think a lot of pointers towards Clare. Winning that ball there, Linda Daly, right in front of the Offaly dugout. They're not overly happy, whatever was going on as this ball is played inside. Malaya wasn't able to get to that ball because Offaly had turned it over Grace Tehan, the goal scorer in that first half. Offaly only getting 2 points in this second half, though. Going to succumb to their first home loss of the year. 2 great wins, of course, against Wexford and Dublin. But Maria Tehan trying to get in and win that ball back. Offaly, I'm sure, in some way, Jack Maher will be happy coming up as intermediate champions last year that they don't get themselves involved. It looks like they won't at the minute, unless Dublin pulled off a bit of a worldie against Limerick in the closing stages here. That might be the only concern. It's 3-8 to 15 that they will stay in the senior championship for next year, and I suppose with 2 home victories, not a bad return on your return to senior camogie. 14 points to 1-8, 2 minutes to go. Claude Elahi taking this free on the halfway line. Offaly need to work a goal. They're still within touch, and that could change things, but they need to score 3 of them if they're to be thinking about getting to Croke Park. And it is Sarah Harding. Look at the turn inside. Referee says that is free out. I think she's trying to maintain. I think this is something about a high.
Yeah, look at it. Probably is a free. I don't think there's anything malicious. I think she's trying to free her free hand away, and she ends up catching Claire Herr, I think, kind of in the face. But it's probably a little bit unlucky. But probably is a free out. All right, and I'm sure Claire is an experienced player. She'll take her time here. Again, you're just looking at the Offaly forward line, and you're saying we really haven't got going at all really in the second half. Needed to have a bit more kind of direct running and showing for the ball, probably maybe a little bit more, but still a small bit of time left, I suppose.
But I think back into that opening couple of minutes there, that 10-minute start for Clare was hugely vital. I think they scored 4 points. Offaly only got 1. That was where Offaly needed to be 4-1 ahead.
They did, yeah. They put the foot down and probably won the game in that time frame, yeah.
So a minute here of normal time remaining, and it's Amy Byrne back there. Fine performance from the captain. Trying to play that ball out, and it's going to be a sideline ball. Alan Doheny, the Laois official, gesticulating that it's going to be an Offaly ball. So Offaly's season at the minute anyway coming to an end. Unless Dublin were to pull off something, that would be the only reason that maybe Offaly then find themselves caught up in a relegation playoff. as Offaly are judged there to have overplayed that ball. So even though Offaly now won't be heading to Croke Park, they'll be hoping that Limerick can get the win. So 2 minutes, it looks like, going up on the board over there. And that would kind of go with the injury that happened at the start of the second half here, with a chance for Roisin Begley to get her 10th 3 minutes of additional time. And Roisin Begley, tight to that right hand upright, has put it over the bar. $10 points is some performance, isn't it?
Serious performance, and you know, obviously Lorna Mack would have been taking the frees all along, but Roisin has seriously stepped up to the mark today.
3-9-17, Limerick lead Dublin, getting a little bit tighter there. Clare 14 points, 15 points to 1-8 here. So ball is a bit of a high challenge. It is going to be a free to Offaly. Offaly might chase a goal here. They know they probably have to. 2 minutes of additional time to be played. Pushing it back, I thought it looked like a Mairead Teagan there, and yeah, free in. But I think Sinead O'Keefe knew what she was doing. It's far enough out. It's going to be hard to work a goal from here, unless Mairead thinks about taking this short. I think she's been told to put it over the bar, has she? Although this might be a one that you'd catch out the goalkeeper and the defenders coming at a slight angle. And she does go low, and it's batted away. And fairness, Doireann Murphy, she's made some cracking saves all this year. She batted that away and then reacted straight off on the rebound. Another cracking stop by Doireann Murphy. Just watching her reaction. She did everything with the stick, but it's the rebound that she just reacts to.
It's the second one is more
phenomenal.
Impressive than the first one. Absolutely phenomenal. And you know, unfortunately in Kilkenny game she dropped the ball into net. Very unusual for her, but I tell you, she's making it up for it today.
Limerick 3-11, Dublin 17 points. If you're an Offaly fan, you're hoping that result stays as it is, as this ball is knocked long, but it's taken on. Looking for this ball to head in this direction. 40 seconds remaining. Clare will be in the draw on Morning Ireland on Monday morning, and also in Croke Park next weekend. Anya Loughlin taking the ball high, heading it handsome out towards that left hand upright. Umpires give it a flag. Anya Loughlin with a fine score, the Truro Clonlara player, getting on the board. Ball out towards Andrea O'Keefe, goes over her head. Trying to win it there is Jan Spillane. Two Limerick or Offaly players around her. Plays the ball inside now. Chance for Maeve Millay. Looking to cut inside, but it's good play by Megan King. Cut off the option, and it's going to be Anya O'Connor, I should say, who's quite nonchalant, knocking that ball back. She knew what she was about as Offaly played this ball forward. I think though, there it is. Yeah, it's all over. It's all over. Clare have come to town, done what they needed to do, and they have come away with the win. 16 points to 1-8. That means that Clare will join Kilkenny. It took a week probably for us to confirm all that, but it's going to be Clare and Kilkenny then in the draw on Monday morning, and they will play, of course, whoever it'll turn out to be from Group 1 tomorrow. However, we have to keep an eye now on Cappamore from an Offaly point of view. Limerick win, it's okay from Offaly that they won't be caught up in a relegation battle, but if Dublin somehow snatch a win, well then Offaly could be in a bit of scoring difference problems for a relegation battle. It's mad to think that it could change on a whim here, but going into injury time, Limerick lead 3-11 to 17 points, so that's what Offaly have got to keep an eye on. Elaine, also Tamri, been great here with me this afternoon, but Amory, look, it probably a bit chastening last weekend, but look, got things straightened out today, come back and did the needful, got the victory that you needed. I
probably would have said during the week that Clare would need to have made a statement here today, and I think they did in the last 15-20 minutes of this game. You know, I would have been happy to get a 5 or 6 point victory. I didn't want to come out of here with just a point, a score, or even a draw at that. So Clare have cemented their space in the quarter final. The kind of proof is in the pudding that Offaly didn't score in the last 15 minutes of the game. You know, that has really told, you know, between the backs in the Clare in defence, you know, maybe dropping back Clodagh Lahey wasn't the best thing to do, particularly when she's such a serious scoring threat. So look, Offaly will have a lot to thank to to wish for, but I don't know what the score in the other game is at the moment.
Dublin have just got a goal, so it's level 3-11 to 117. That narrows everything up, like, so.
The mathematics, the people will around with the calculators now to see what happens. It could be a serious tale of woe here for Offaly today. But look, in fairness, coming back up from intermediate, getting that win last year, they have a lot of young players coming on, and they will build from this, most certainly. I have to say, the crowd were magnificent today. They were brilliant. It's a great stand to be in. Everyone was cheering on. There was a great crowd here. You can see it out on the pitch. There's a lot of people here for Camogie today, and it's great to see. Hopefully Clare will get the chance to play in front of the Clare hurlers in Croke Park next weekend. That's all to play for, I suppose, depending on the Cork and Galway game tomorrow. But for now, it's Clare in the quarter-final, and all that we can do is hope from here and see who we get in the draw.
Yeah, well, you've got the NIFL out there. It's the second time you mentioned it now, making sure that people hear that they will be here. We will have our player of the match. So who do you think between the two of you would give it to?
I suppose we were talking just before the end of it there that, Clare Herher had a great game. I thought Andrew O'Keefe, we were saying, had a magnificent second half, but for a girl to come on and, not be the normal free taker for Clare, particularly when Lorna had been missing. Roisin Begley was outstanding today. 10 scores, 9 of them from frees. She had been magnificent, and, you couldn't ask for 10 or 8 from frees. She has stepped up to the mark here today, and although Clare, Andy, Abby Walsh were definitely in contention, but particularly for Roisin Begley, I think she had a big boots to fill, and she filled them today.
Yeah, 10 points. So Roisin Begley is our player of the match for this encounter. Elaine, before we let you go, some disappointment for Offaly, and now we're living on our nerves here in the closing stages here to see how things work out in Cappamore.
Yeah, you're refreshing there. I'm hoping that nothing comes through from the blue side of the coin. I've never shouted for Limerick so much, but look, I think a big year for us coming back up, and I've said it before, like the gap between intermediate and senior I think has increased with the second teams not being in intermediate, so hugely important for Offaly to, I think they deserve to hold on. I think the positive performance there, but look, I suppose you get what you deserve. We're, I suppose, a little bit like Clare, injuries or anybody that you're short will always be a factor, but the girls showed huge heart, huge determination in a great win last day against Dublin. Well done to Clare. The best of luck to them in the quarter-finals. It's great to see different, spread around at different teams. And I mean, just a shout to Roisin Begley. I mean, as a former half free taker, I mean, some of those frees were not easy there today, and to be kind of thrust into taking the frees, and she hit them with such conviction. Really, really well done to her. I thought it was a fantastic performance mentally from her to be, to take on that responsibility. And like I said, it was some of them now I would class them as dirty frees, and she hit them over with a plum.
Yeah, that she did. Elaine, thanks indeed for joining us this afternoon. You added so much along with Anne-Marie here, giving us a viewpoints from both sides of the coin, with Offaly taking on Clare. But Clare will be in that draw on the morning, and we're waiting to hear. We're still into injury time. It's still a draw on Cappamore with regards to what might happen there. But if Dublin get the win, Offaly will be in the relegation playoff. That's how tight this whole group has turned out to be. It'd be just fingers crossed. Elaine is crossing everything here at the minute that will work out. So we're going to break here, just our coverage for the minute. Do stick with us. We're going to hear from Roisin Begley, and we'll hear from Eugene Foodie as well, and hopefully from Jack Maher if the word from Cappamore is good. 65 minutes, 3-11, 117. They were a little bit behind us going into the second half. So rejoin us shortly. We'll hear from the Clare camp. And you're welcome back here to pitchside. We're going to call on Hilda Breslin to make the presentation, our player of the match, to Roisin Begley. Roisin, you have a lot there, so we'll let you maybe put down the award if you don't mind, rather than you have to bother yourself with it. And I'll give you that microphone. Lots of the paraphernalia of today. An important game to come and obviously win, and it was put up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we came here with no illusion that Offaly were going to put it up to us. We were disappointed last week, and sometimes it's hard to turn around after a heavy defeat and come out and put your best performance and show. So we had a quick turnaround, and I think that's probably the best thing for us. We're happy enough with the first half because there's a strong breeze here today. So we're happy to be 2 points down, and I think we really dug it out there in the second half to finish by 5.
I hope you don't mind me saying, I talked about it with Eugene in recent weeks, because we've talked a hell of a lot, of course, we've been covering your games, that, last week had to be a bit chastening, because I'm sure you felt you were better than that against Kilkenny.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes when things are going bad, everything goes bad, and it just becomes compounding errors. So we were definitely disappointed in how it went, but I think, when things go bad, they end up being 10 times worse. So yeah, we just got stuck into training on Tuesday and Thursday and focused on Offaly. So look, we were delighted to be able to come out with a win today, and really looking forward to next week.
Glad to be in the hat now Monday, and obviously getting to Croke Park again next week. It puts where this team you probably feel you should be. Yeah,
look, I suppose we were happy with the performances up until Kilkenny, and it wouldn't have been a good year for us if we hadn't gotten out of the group. And yeah, we're just delighted we have done that, and we'll see who we're facing now tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but on Monday. Yeah.
Back to Croke Park though, and a great pitch to be on, obviously, and to pitch yourselves now and give yourselves a chance to maybe make that semi-final.
Yeah, look, it's a good day when a Clare Camogie senior team are playing Croke Park. As a young girl, I probably didn't think I'd ever play there, and 2 years in a row is huge. So we'll find out who we're playing now on Monday, and do a bit of homework and get ready for next Saturday or Sunday.
Well, Roisin, we wish you the best of luck. I probably won't see you over the coming weeks, but the best of luck with regards to that. And our player of the match today, Roisin, we're getting so used to giving her a award. That's our second one in recent weeks. Thanks, Roisin, joining us. Yeah, Eugene, in fairness to you, before this rain shower comes, we'll get you in very quickly. You have to be happy, man.
Yeah, delighted with the way the girls performed. We did put in a huge effort again against the Breeze in the first half, and to go in 2 points down, really happy with it. And we asked the girls at half time, let's put 2 halves back to back, and we really battled in the second half, got some great scores, and again our substitutes, you getting the point, me getting the point, they really worked. We got contribution from the bench, and that's all you want.
You were game smart, if you don't mind me saying it, Eugene. You really structured well, tightened up things at the back. Offaly, would have had the lead at half time, fire enough, but they probably knew they had to come out and search goals, and you weren't giving them too much opportunities.
No. Look at that first half. It just took us a bit of time to get used to it. There's a swelling breeze there, and our half back line were kind of struggling to whether to catch or bat it or what to do, because it was a strong breeze was just there. And but when we got to grips with it, and we got our shape right. We did well.
Does it matter now, Eugene, who's in that hat? You're in the hat. It doesn't matter who you play ultimately for you, is it?
No, we don't care. I mean, whoever we were drawn, we'll just prepare, we'll do our homework, and we'll go to Croke Park to do ourselves justice, and we're proud to be there.
And you're hoping, obviously, as I was taught Anne-Marie on commentary, that everything works out for you, that your men and your women will be in Croke Park together.
Wouldn't that be an amazing day? It's the first time ever in history that the Pat O'Donnell jersey will be there, boys and girls, and on Sunday hopefully the powers to be will see since and do that, and great day out for the banner. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Congratulations, Eugene, on the victory, and the best of luck in Croke Park in the coming weeks. Thanks indeed, Eugene Foodie, for that and for his help with us over the last while. David, we're going to just break there for a minute. I want to hear from Jack Maher though, because it looks like Offaly are safe, and get his reaction to that, because the result in Cappamore has ended in a draw there, so that means that Dublin and Wexford are in the relegation battle. Join me shortly.
You're welcome back here to Borough. I just wanted to get the views on this man, even though that Offaly have lost, because we've got the word from Capamore that it's ended in a draw, which means Offaly are safe, are not caught up in any relegation. And I suppose that's a positive, if anything, to take out of today. Jack, you come up as obviously All-Ireland winners, intermediate champions last year. Important that you didn't end up being a yo-yo crew and being involved in a relegation playoff, or ultimately heading back to intermediate.
Yeah, no, exactly, Killian. Look, it kind of feels a little bit weird. I know the girls are very disappointed, and we're disappointed as a group, because when we set out the start of the year, we set our sights on being still involved next weekend. Ultimately that's not to be now. And I suppose the bare minimum was to stay up in both the league and the championship. We've got that, and probably a little bit with it. We got two really good results. And even some of the games that didn't go our way, I thought the guys fought really hard today. To put the bodies on the line. And they never give up. That was the big thing, and I don't think this group will give up. They're a really good bunch of girls.
The wind, obviously, conditions, everything made it difficult. But you had a fine first half. You probably maybe would have felt at half time you could have had a few more scores on the board.
Yeah, look. Obviously, when you're playing with the wind and playing against a team like Clare, they're a real quality team. You need to make everything count. We probably felt at half time we had left a couple of chances behind, but again, I wouldn't be taking that like we were off on our tackle count at half time, even though we were winning. It's probably the first time this year that we were ahead at half time and we were way off on our tackle count. But I think the girls, they set that straight in the second half, and they really went after it. And look, we just came up short in the end. But look, again, I'd like to wish Clare the best of luck. We've played them a couple of times this year already. A really, really good team. Good bunch of girls, and look, I'll wish them well next week.
But you've also got to take into a factor that they've probably cemented their place as a senior championship team, their second quarter final in a row. You're coming up from intermediate. There has no question about it. There has to be a little bit of a disparity between the teams as regards the experience, let's say, of big occasions. Plus, as well, you've had a significant changeover in your crew in the last year.
Yeah, look, that's probably the one concern that we've had from the start of the year, and even when we met the county board to see out the 3 years, this is my third year involved, and that's what we had taken on. And it was a massive turnover, like you said. I think it was 14 girls from the league final and 13 girls from the All-Ireland final panel, which is massive, and that's hard to take in a county like Offaly. There's 8 senior teams in Offaly, and you need everybody. And look, a lot of them girls, I spoke to them all, and they have genuine reasons. And I'd like to think that maybe next year, if things had changed, that they'd be able to commit. And look, the door is always open. We had 2 girls enter the panel during the league, and both of them seen the field here today, so that's what you need. They need to keep building. As a county and as a team, we need girls there, because competition for places is what it's all about. But for the girls that did commit, the 30 girls, they gave everything. There was nothing, and even when things didn't go well, no girl came here to not perform or do the wrong thing. They gave everything they can, everything they had, and they stayed fighting to the end. And I'm really, really happy for that. I'm really disappointed for them, because they've worked extremely, extremely hard. And look, that's sport. Unfortunately, sometimes you can do everything to the best of your ability, but still fall short.
But still, in fairness, you've given a positive that maybe some of those girls will come back in harness next year. Jack, congratulations on the fact that you've maintained your status as a senior team. Commiserations on the result, but you're almost an upwards for Offaly Camogie.
That's it. Yeah, look, we have to go again, and that's just the way it is. And with this new structure, I don't know, is it in place next year or what? But it probably, for the likes of Offaly, it suits Offaly. It makes for a really interesting championship. I know that the top teams, they probably only have the 3 games, and they probably feel, I think Clare will have a lot of momentum going in now next weekend, and so will Kilkenny, and 2 really, really good teams, and it does make it very interesting. We could have been in an All-Ireland quarter final, we could have been in a relegation final. Yeah. That's how tight it was, and I think the teams are evenly matched, and from our point of view, it was really good. It was really, really good, and look, all we can do is go again. We're not long over. We'll be starting again. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Jack, it's a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations again on staying in the senior, and thanks for joining us. Jack Maher there, the Offaly manager, giving us his viewpoint. So that's it, done and dusted. Marie McGann and Elaine Dermody, thanks to you for being on our commentary duty, and to David and Ger in the background for giving me the handout and bringing you the coverage here today. We're not done with Camogie, because who will Clare and Kilkenny be playing? We'll only work that out tomorrow. I'm heading for Páirc Uí Rinn to see Cork, who are already, of course, guaranteed a place in the knockout stages. Who will be joining them? They face on Waterford, whereas Galway entertain Tipperary. Those games to be all worked out, and then to decide who will be playing Kilkenny and Clare. So hopefully, if you haven't had enough of Camogie action, you can catch more of it tomorrow from 3:30 in Páirc Uí Rinn. It's great to let you know we'll be getting the band back together. Elaine Aylward will join me on commentary from Páirc Uí Rinn. So from Grant Heating, St Brendan's Park here in Burr, congratulations to Clare. They're joining Kilkenny in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. Talk to you tomorrow.